us, and thanks for joining us here in America the Beautiful from wherever you're watching. You know, last night I mentioned viewers who watch our show on YouTube from other countries, and we got a lot of feedback in the comments section on YouTube from Guillermo. You have the scroll?
Oh, yeah,
okay,
here,
we
Jimmy.
put it on the scroll. Why did we put this on the scroll?
Oh, I don't know, Jimmy.
Okay. We heard from people watching in Costa Rica, Canada, the Caribbean, Cameroon, Scotland, South Africa, and Sweden, Saudi Arabia, and Spain, Denmark, and Dubai. Lots of Germans, lots of Australians, the UK, Kenya, Portugal, the Philippines, Italy, Indonesia, Ireland, India, Thailand, Uganda, France, Finland, and quite a few more. All these people from all these countries checking in on how crazy ours is, and we appreciate it. No word from Mexico, Guillermo. Did you know that?
No, Mexico love you, Jimmy. Mexico love you, Jimmy.
No, they don't.
They
no,
do,
they
they
don't.
do. They just don't want to.
Well, thank you for watching. We love hearing from you. And depending on how it goes on November 6th, I may need to move into your house. So please leave some contact info on the comments. Today we are celebrating a holiday that I think is only celebrated here in the United States, National Bosses Day. And the reason we celebrate is because we are a real bunch of ass kissers here. And you know what I got for Bosses Day today? I'm the boss here, right? You know what? Nothing, not a thing. Nothing. It's an embarrassing holiday. It really is. I say if you're gonna celebrate the boss, let's limit it to Bruce Springsteen. In fact, I know this has been pondered in some ways before, but I think it could be great for everyone who's mad we don't have the day off for Columbus Day anymore. Why not redesignate this day to honor our greatest Italian American, Bruce Springsteen? Bruce Springsteen, I'll tell you a couple things about Bruce. Never gave anyone smallpox. When Bruce Springsteen travels to India or the Indies or wherever the hell Columbus was supposed to be going, he finds it. He doesn't get lost. So happy Bruce Springsteen, everybody, and let's make this a thing. You know, the Golden Bachelorette is here tonight. Joan, the Golden Bachelorette, tonight on a special episode, whittled her suitors down to 4-4, which is also the number of times each one of the remaining guys gets up to pee in the middle of the night. And the stakes on this show are as high as the compression socks. They are... Joan is backstage, and later on, I'm going to ask her what it was like to spend a month living in a Flomax commercial. The main event tonight on TV, besides the Mets and Dodgers, which is happening right now, was Vice President Kamala Harris in her first ever interview with Fox News. If you're still watching this on your television, it means Grandpa didn't shoot it, I guess. Fox put her on in prime time, which I would have loved to have been a bottle of ketchup on the wall when Trump got that news that she was going on in prime time. The unpleasant one already truthed his displeasure that the interview would be conducted by Fox newsman Bret Baier. Bret Baier has been known to commit the terrible crime of reporting the actual news on Fox, and he obviously felt pressure to go extra hard on Harris so they would let him sit in the lunchroom after the show, and he did just that, which earned him instant kudos from his comrades.
So first off, you did a great job. You did a great job because you asked the tough question.
I think that it was amazing that you were the interviewer. I think that that was an incredible 30 minutes.
I thought you really asked the questions that a lot of Americans want answers to.
She didn't give you very much, Bret, and you did a great job.
Bret, I thought you did a masterful job.
Overall, this was a win for you.
The Democrats seem pretty happy with how she did, and people are giving you a lot of praise for how you did, Bret.
All right, save it for the post-show orgy, everybody. Come on now. They all, you know what, they all sit there in fear imagining Donald Trump on the toilet watching them. Trump has said Fox has grown so weak and soft on the Democrats, which is, it's true, they barely accuse us of eating babies anymore, but you remember when Trump was complaining Kamala Harris wouldn't sit for interviews? Now she's on TV more often than those Guardians commercials. Meanwhile, while Trump was hammering Fox for being too fair to his opponent, this is the grilling he got earlier today from Fox, right from the start at his pre-taped all-women town hall.
Women's issues are everybody's issues, and we're doing it with the voters asking questions, so please take it away.
Dear President Trump, thank you so much for everything you have done for this country.
Thank you.
You fight for us in the past, you are fighting for us right now, and I know you will fight for us in the future.
Thank you.
So some hard-hitting stuff going on there. This was like North Korea level propaganda. This was a hand-picked audience of Trump-loving women in Georgia, and he regaled this crowd with one of his favorite made-up stories, the story of the lady and the 3 apples.
What they've done to you with inflation is a disaster. It's the economy. People that were buying breakfast, they could no longer buy breakfast.
Yeah.
They have a case, a woman goes up to the counter with 3 apples, and then she says, oh, I can't afford it. She brings 1 apple back. That's not supposed to be our country. That's not our country.
All right.
That's right. This is a 3-apple country. Don't you forget it. You heard about the little pig who had to build a house out of sticks? Disgraceful. The setting for this historic event, it was what appeared to be a barn decorated for Halloween or maybe a haunted Cracker Barrel. I don't know. You know, Kamala released their medical report this week, and it said she has hay fever. So what does Trump do? He sits down surrounded by bales of hay. And he had a big bale of hay on his head, too. It's how you get the Great Pumpkin to show up. So they loaded in the women, about 100 women. This is the first time Groper Cleveland has been around this many women since they started padlocking the doors at Miss Teen USA. And it was quite an interview, very well done. We learned so much about his thoughts on things like electric vehicles.
You've talked about electric vehicles.
The problem with electric vehicles, and Elon Musk is a very good friend of mine. He endorsed me and you saw him the other night in Butler, Pennsylvania. Was he having a good time?
All right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come right back.
All right, Elon was having a good time. They never mentioned it again. So then once he told the ladies everything he knows about electric cars, they got to the hot-button subject of IVF. Now that the Supreme Court caved to the far right on abortion, many believe rightly that IVF is next on the list. Conservative Christians are against it because embryos get disposed of, and they're against that. But America is very for it. America is VFI for IVF. And so Trump, now that he learned what IVF is, which I'm still not sure he does, wants to pretend he's not just a big proponent of IVF. He wants to know he's the biggest proponent.
Oh, I want to talk about IVF. I'm the father.
You don't hear that every day.
I'm the father of IVF.
The father of IVF. Now he's claiming to be the father of IVF, which has been happening since 1978. This guy won't even admit to being the father of Eric. He's the father of IVF. Maybe that's short for Ivanka in his brain. I don't know. But Maury Slovich put on quite a show for the ladies. This town hall, it was in 2 parts. In the first part, the women asked questions. And the second part, Trump went through and rated them physically from 1 to 10. One lucky lady was named Miss Fox News Town Hall 24, so congratulations. Trump needs female voters, and Fox isn't the only place he's trying to get them. He also has a new show here at ABC.
10,000 unstable women. 1 lecherous old man on a magical night of romance.
She would not be my first choice. That wouldn't be the one. She is not my type. I'm better looking than she is.
Who will go home? And who will he grab by the...
Look at this. I have been a leader on fertilization. You will be protected, and I will be your protector.
Thank you to our Superman hero.
I can't do it.
The Golden Bachelor. Only on ABC.
People at ABC don't like me too much.
Well, Melania's going to be happy, I know that. One of Trump's big angles lately has been claiming Kamala Harris is lying about having worked at McDonald's over the summer when she was in college. And I don't know, prove it, I guess. Trump's going to a McDonald's in Pennsylvania this weekend to make French fries. He's going to McDonald's to make French fries, and then he's off to Springfield to eat cats. I don't know. One of the people who's been challenging the vice president's employment history is Trump's campaign spokesman, this guy, Stephen Chang, which is ironic because he looks like what would happen if you skinned Grimace. But working for But this is a win-win for Trump because working a deep fryer will give him a new skill he could potentially put to use in the prison cafeteria. Yesterday, people are excited to vote. Yesterday was a record first day for early voting in the state of Georgia. Today was another big day. More than 300,000 Georgians voted yesterday, which is double the previous month. Georgia you may remember, is the state where Trump was indicted for his efforts to overturn the election. He doesn't want to lose that state again, so he opened his remarks in Atlanta last night with words of compassion.
Before we begin, I want to send our love and prayers to everyone here in Georgia, hit by the hurricanes. You got hit hard, as well as Florida, North Carolina. They really got hit hard. South Carolina got hit pretty hard.
Let's go through and rate who got hit the hardest from 1 to 10. And then after he went through who got hit hard and who got hit pretty hard, he issued a stark and ridiculous warning about the dangers of hydrogen cars.
We're not going to have hydrogen cars. You know, hydrogen cars is the new thing, right? Do you know about that? Hydrogen is the new car. They say it's great. Has one problem. If it explodes, you're dead. If it explodes, they actually say if it explodes, you're unrecognizable. You call your wife over. They call up the wife, would you please come here and take a look and see whether or not this is your husband, because we cannot see. And she goes to the nearest tree, which is about 100 yards away, and she says, no, it's only blood. There's nothing there. She says, I can't tell.
He really knows how to spin a yarn, doesn't he? You know, some believe that if any car explodes, you're dead. Gasoline isn't exactly something you fill the pool with. Why he's even talking about this, I have no idea. And then another one, his running mate, J.D. Vance, was in Pennsylvania, making a very strange and forced connection between Joe Biden and a bounce house.
Man, they are having a good time. You know, there's like a big bounce-like house. Have you all ever been here? This place is incredible. That's what I was doing for about 10 minutes. And then, you know, we came out here, decided to talk to everybody, and I realized that if Joe Biden had been out there, then maybe he would have pulled out a little bit earlier, right, from that race. I don't think that bounce house was made for Joe Biden.
I agree, I guess. I don't know. I don't think that bounce house was made for Joe Biden either. It's probably made for children to go in. And of course, no appearance by J.D. Vance would be complete without a bumbled plug for his book.
You know, I wrote a book in 2016 called Hillbilly Elegy. I see some of you have read it. Thank you. And my friends, it's available wherever bookstores are sold. If you haven't got your copy...
It's not the first time. He keeps saying his book is available wherever bookstores are sold, which... At the bookstore store, of course, it's... J.D. Vance has been doing a lot of live Q&As, and Trump has been doing a lot of podcasts. He called it the Glenn Beck show yesterday. You remember Glenn Beck? Glenn Beck once called Donald Trump an immoral man who is absent decency or dignity and encouraged his listeners to vote for Hillary Clinton instead. Now, after I guess some soul searching, he realizes that Donald Trump is really great.
Historians will look back and say this was a genius. It was the biggest heist in human history. It was horrible, but it was genius. Who's actually the president, Mr. President?
Well, I think it's a committee of people, and they might not even know who the committee is. They may not even know themselves. Does that make sense?
Nope, not at all. And this story makes even less sense.
So I spoke to the head. He's still there, Abdul. We had a good conversation, tough conversation. And I don't want to go graphically the conversation. It was a tough conversation, but you can't really repeat it. It's not appropriate. But
Can I tell it?
I did have, yeah, you could tell it, but I did send him something that was interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you had a picture of his house, and you said, if any of our soldiers die, I will kill you. And you put the picture down and slid it across the table, and then you walked out. I think that's brilliant. Just brilliant.
Well, it was a phone conversation, but...
Oh, okay.
It's not a great sign when you get fact-checked by Donald Trump, but this is funny. After Trump put on that impromptu DJ dance session on Tuesday night, Lawrence O'Donnell of MSNBC wondered aloud, he had a very good question, why is Trump so obsessed with the song YMCA?
No one has ever explained why Donald Trump's most consistent favorite song ever played at his political rallies is the gayest song that any presidential candidate has ever decided to lose himself in.
Very well put. I think But no matter how gay his music is, young, straight, white men love Donald Trump. They see him as a macho man, if you will. He eats red meat. He pretends to follow UFC. He's into crypto and sneakers and NFTs. He's a dude, a bro, and a boss all rolled into one. According to a recent poll from the New York Times, Trump is leading Harris among male voters by 17 points. But is he the strong alpha man these men believe him to be? Not according to one of the toughest guys I know he isn't.
Fellas, we gotta talk. A lot of men seem to think that Donald Trump is some kind of tough guy. He's not. I mean, look at him. He wears more makeup than Dolly Parton. He whines like a baby. The guy's afraid of birds. Donald Trump had his daddy pay a doctor to say his little feet hurt so he could dodge the draft. Look at that gut, like a garbage bag full of buttermilk. He sells imaginary baseball cards pretending to be a cowboy fireman. Guy's barely strong enough to hold an umbrella. I mean, look how he drinks water. Like a little pink chickadee. He's got jugs, big ones, like Dolly Parton. He cheats at golf. He creeps around beauty pageant dressing rooms. You know that little dance he does? He looks like he's jacking off a pair of giraffes. He's moody, he pouts, he throws tantrums.
No, get those lights off!
He acts like a 5-year-old behind the wheel of a truck. He bends over for Putin. He's cattier on social media than a middle school mean girl. The guy needs help walking downhill. Almost there, Grandma. So this November, let's stop kidding ourselves. Donald Trump is afraid of rain, of dogs, of windmills, Merle Street, and being laughed at.
Isn't it past your jail time?
But mostly, he's terrified that real red-blooded American men will find out that he's a weak, tubby toddler.
Mommy, take me home. Mommy, I want to go home.
What's wrong, tough guy? Did someone grab you by the whiny little bitch.
Paid for by guys who can still see the room.